So my time here in Mexico City has absolutely flown by. Somehow I leave in just under 3 days. So over the next 48 hours, I'm going to be soaking up as much of this incredible city as I can, and I am taking you along for the ride. So it's about 11 a.m. and I have not had my morning coffee yet, which is not okay. So I'm going to take you to one of the first places I came here in La Condesa. It's such a cute little cafe and the staff is so kind. So I hope my friend Diego, mi amigo, is there and I can introduce you if he wants to be on camera, so we'll see. Hola, ¿cómo están? Bien, bien. Sí, es mi primera vez. Okay, so I'm staying in La Condesa neighborhood. If you watched my previous video, you would have seen a lot of that, but I'm venturing out today. I'm on my way to Centro, and I'm currently on Paseo de la Reforma. The last time I was here was on Sunday for that big bicycling day. This entire street shuts down just for pedestrians and bikers, but now it's full of cars. It's such a stunning road. There's so much cool architecture, and yeah, heading to El Centro now. I'm officially in El Centro Histórico here in Mexico City. I tried to come here the other day when I was biking, but there was a huge protest happening that was like blocking off all the roads, so I ended up just going to Palenque instead. But I'm standing right in front of the Palacio de Bellas Artes, and this is basically like their national theater. There's a lot of shows here, like big orchestras, and yeah, I looked to see if I could go to any of them, but I kind of just procrastinated on like booking things. I don't really do that, and I'm leaving Sunday, but it's just such a beautiful building. And honestly, I've seen photos of it at night. It looks even more epic. It's like all lit up. It's absolutely spectacular. So there are currently people out front protesting. I might go ask why. I couldn't totally understand, but the museum is closed indefinitely because they're basically petitioning out front and blocking the entrance. This is the second time that I've come downtown and there's been a protest. I'm actually super disappointed. It looked so cool inside, and on like the top floor is the architecture museum. So whenever you come here, maybe you'll get luckier than me. But now I'm walking around Parque La Alameda, which is the oldest park in the city, and it's literally right next to the Palacio. So yeah, I'm just going to get some vitamin D. It's very sunny today, and enjoy the greenery. Okay, so I'm now on this like super busy, just pedestrian only road. It looks like there's all these museums that are like lining the road. And behind me we have Casa de los Azulejos, which is like the blue tiles. I love these types of buildings. There's a lot of these in Spain and I always gravitate towards them. It's just so beautiful to look at. It looks super old and historic. I love it. So this definitely just feels like one big outdoor mall. So there's like a mixture of different museums that you can pop into, different stores, different restaurants, and it's very popular. There are so many people. So at the very end of that road, it will lead you to El Zócalo, which is like a huge open area right in front of the main cathedral here in Mexico City. And today is actually the first day of the International Book Fair. Did not know this was happening until I arrived, but it's really cool and festive. There's all of these booths set up and there's so many people. I'm actually shook at how humongous this fair is. El Zócalo is massive. Literally look, we have a tent here, whatever that is, and all of these tents have different books in them. And we obviously have cathedral right here, and everyone is so into it. Like everyone is looking at the books. Looks like they're setting up for a performance here soon. Anytime you're in any like Mexican city, just look for El Zócalo and there will be something happening, most likely. So there's all of these indigenous healers that are out here doing a cleansing ceremony like all over next to the cathedral. So I'm curious. So let's see how this goes. Crosby. Estados Unidos, Florida. That was so cool. So I asked him basically what they're doing, and they are descendants of the Aztec people, and this is kind of their way of cleansing your aura and your energy. Wow, I kind of needed that, I think. I asked one of them to film since I'm here by myself, and he was more than happy to. Just love the people in Mexico. They're so wonderful. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna go into the cathedral. This is apparently the largest cathedral in Latin America, which is so cool. It's huge in here. Like, so tall, and it feels so old. Okay, so as much as I would love to stay in this area and explore some more, I need to feed myself. This seems to be a running theme that I just forget to eat while I'm exploring. And I have my walking tour in a different neighborhood in an hour. So like I mentioned before, this is my very first time in Mexico City, and it's always a little overwhelming arriving in a new place like this for the very first time. I just have been like really overwhelmed, but I was able to whip up a 2-day itinerary in just a few minutes using my personal AI travel assistant and the sponsor of today's video, Magic. Planning a trip like this would usually take me hours of scouring blog posts and figuring out where everything is located in the city, but Magic created this itinerary for me in less than 5 minutes for free, and it even gave me tips for getting around safely as a solo traveler. All you have to do is tell Magic the length of your trip, the type of travel you prefer, and any specific activities that you want to do. From there, it will create a custom itinerary based on your travel preferences, and it even tells you the transit time between each activity, which is so helpful in places with lots of traffic like Mexico City. Magic can also find you the best places to stay by summarizing all of the descriptions and reviews, and you can get exclusive 5 to 40% off discounts on hotels that you can't find anywhere else. You can try out Magic for free by clicking the link down in the description box below, and let me know in the comments what you think, because it has been an absolute game changer for me. Well, I have finally made it to the neighborhood of Coyoacán. I'm so excited to be here. I've heard it's so charming, so wonderful, and it's one of the safest neighborhoods in Mexico City, apparently. I also have some friends who live here that some of you may recognize. We're gonna be meeting up with them for dinner, but getting here was a whole thing. It almost took an hour from Centro because the traffic was so bad. So I'm like 30 minutes late to my walking tour. So I am meeting them at this cultural center. They're supposed to be there in like 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, but it's so pretty. I'm like walking by all of these vines. There's all this cobblestone streets. Super charming so far. So I'm excited to show you the neighborhood of Frida Kahlo. We started our walking tour at La Casa Alvarado, which was the last home of Octavio Paz, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, and legend has it that the conquistador Pedro de Alvarado also lived here. Today, it's a cultural and academic hub, home to a historic audio collection and a beautiful sound garden that's really nice to explore. After this, we walked around the beautiful cobblestone streets, and I genuinely felt like I had been transported to a colonial European town. It felt completely different than where I just came from in Centro, and I loved the slower pace and peaceful environment. As we walked around, we noticed on almost every street corner was a tribute to Our Lady of Guadalupe, who is a very important symbol in Mexican identity and faith. We then walked by a corner store that looks very ordinary, but is actually pretty significant. So this corner right here, where there's now a store, used to be the bus stop that Frida Kahlo would get on the bus. So this used to be her old neighborhood. Maybe we'll pass by her house, but super cool. Then it started pouring rain, so we ran through the streets to find shelter at a community center in the middle of town, but the rain honestly made the cobblestone streets and colonial architecture even more beautiful. After the rain stopped, we walked to La Fuente de los Coyotes, which is right in the heart of Coyoacán and surrounded by lots of restaurants, shops, and street food. We were here on a Friday, but apparently it gets super crowded and busy on the weekends, so come here during the week if you can. We ended the tour at Frida Kahlo's childhood home, which I sadly couldn't go into, so make sure to get your tickets at least a few days ahead of time, unlike me. So we just finished up the free walking tour. It was absolutely amazing. I'll put the name here of the company that I booked it through. It was free, and then you just tip the guide, of course. And I honestly had like no expectation of what Coyoacán. Why am I forgetting it right now? I didn't have much expectations of like what it would be like. It's so cute, so charming. The cobblestone streets and all the colonial buildings, and it's just so sweet and charming, and I feel super safe and cozy here. But now I am going to meet up with a couple friends that I haven't seen in like over 2 years, so this should be fun. I see them! Hola, hola! Hi! Oh my god! It's so good to see you guys!
Year and a half almost, huh?
Hi!
Hi!
These are the friends, Eat Pilot Travel. Jenny and Kevin. This is Kevin.
This is one of the hardest working YouTubers I've ever met. Crosby.
Grace.
We spent some time together in Puerto Escondido, and this girl works and she puts in the work in those videos, so make sure to
like, subscribe. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was a psycho in Los Odeli. I've stayed there twice now, and that's where we became friends like a year and a half ago.
Puerto Escondido brings people together, and
does.
here we are in Mexico City.
We are! Yay!
And I want to point out that Crosby is the only gringa here, so she's very special tonight.
I'm special, muy especial. Yeah, I'm always a gringa, always. Wow, gracias.
You wanted to eat by the travel event.
I said I was hungry and they delivered. Whoa. Get it, girl. All right, I'm trying. Voy a probar la raja de crema.
Rajas con crema.
Rajas con crema. So you put it in this tortilla.
So good.
So good. I love the guano peppers so much. 10 out of 10. Gracias.
So this is a famous churros spot in Coyoacán. Coyoacán neighborhood is really known for their churros, and these places usually have long lines across the street. And when we first tried them, they're amazing, so we had to bring you here.
Yes.
So you got cajeta.
Cajeta.
I got rompope, which is eggnog.
En café.
So cajeta is what? Like the
It's like a Mexican caramel made with goat's milk.
goat's milk. I had to try it. I've never had this. All right.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers.
Hey.
So good.
Oh my god.
These are some of the best churros, hands down, I think, that we've had. In Mexico City, it's very common or popular to go to that El Moro place because it's very like Instagram famous.
You gotta try these.
But these ones are the local ones. These are the good ones.
These are so good. 20 pesos. But yours is 25.
25 or 20 depending on the
Yeah.
flavor.
Oh my god, that's so good, dude.
Cajeta's amazing.
So I just finished up an amazing yoga flow at Power Flow Yoga. It's the only yoga place I've been to in Mexico City, but I love it. It's in Roma Norte, and yeah, it's on donation basis. So I usually put like 100, 150 pesos, and the instructor, Michael, is amazing. But now I have decided that it's officially Pan de Muerto season. Dia de Muertos is coming up. You guys will see a vlog on that in a few weeks. But yeah, it's Pan de Muerto season, so I've decided I need to go get some of that. Okay, so I'm in Parque Mexico. If you guys watched my previous video, you know that this is like one of my favorite places in the city. I have got my Pan de Muerto. It looks so good. So at the place I went, they had a whole different, array of different Pan de Muertos you could get. I got the traditional one because I've never tried it, but they have like a banana cream flavor, a lemon flavor with like cream in it. So there's a lot of different ones you can try. I also have a coffee to go with it. Traditionally, this is what I read on the internet. Pan de Muerto is made out of sourdough. It's like a sourdough base, and then it's made with like orange blossom infused water and then sugar on top. So that's kind of the traditional route. Should I dip it in coffee? Or no, let's try it by itself first. Ooh, I can totally taste the orange. Okay, now let's try it dipped in coffee. Provechito. That's the move. Wow, I understand the hype. It has also like something really characteristic of it is it has these like, they call them bones on top. They're just like a hard piece of the bread. They're always like on top of the Pan de Muerto. So that's how you know what it is. I'm a fan. I love the orange. Next time I'll try like a flavored one. I had so much fun yesterday. Coyoacán immediately like went up to probably tie with La Condesa for my favorite neighborhood, if not more. Like there was more Mexican culture, it was super lively, the nightlife was awesome. It was just like a really good vibe. And it was so nice to meet up with Jenny and Kevin. It's so crazy, like when you meet people, I think we only hung out for a week in Puerto Escondido. We hadn't seen each other in a year and a half, and then we met back up and just picked things up where we left off, and it was so much fun. Definitely go check out their channel. They have some awesome videos about, you know, different places all over Mexico, and they give their take on a lot of kind of controversial issues going on in Mexico from their perspective as Mexican Americans. So it's really, really interesting. But last night I got home and my legs literally felt like jello. I looked at how many steps I did, and I did over 22,000 steps yesterday. So I've just decided today that, yeah, I'm gonna kind of lay low until tonight. I have a really exciting taco food tour planned that I'm gonna vlog. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm kind of planning on gonna pack a little bit. I'm going to kind of get a few work things tied up because I do leave tomorrow for Oaxaca City. But if you are kind of wanting some more recommendations on what to do in Mexico City in like a 2-day period, this is what I did last weekend. So on Saturday, I went to Parque de Chapultepec, and there is the Castillo there, which is, it's kind of an old castle, and it also is, I believe, like the National History Museum. It's some kind of history museum, and it's so beautiful. You get up there and the museum's really nice, but honestly the views of the city are incredible. And then after that I went through the botanical gardens. Those are really nice. And then I just kind of laid in the grass in the Chapultepec Park on the other side of the road. And yeah, it's a really nice area if you're in the mood to just like have a picnic, lay out in the grass, read a book. That is exactly what I did, and it was wonderful. I also had rented city bikes at this point, so after that I biked over to Polanco and explored that neighborhood a little bit. It's a super bougie part of town and a really cool area as well. There's like really nice restaurants and cafes and parks, and I believe there's like a lot of cool museums over there as well, but I didn't explore it too long. And then Sunday, this is an absolute must. If you watched my previous vlog, this was in the beginning of that vlog, but I rented a city bike again and I went to Paseo de la Reforma. It shuts down every Sunday from 8 to 2 for pedestrians and cyclists only. So the literal biggest avenue in the city is completely shut down, and it's just so many people coming together and biking, and you have amazing views of the architecture and the statues, and it's just so cool. It's such a fun experience. There was like a huge protest happening, so I ended up having to like turn around and not go to Centro, but went yesterday, so it all works out. But yeah, that's kind of what I recommend doing. And then also in Roma Norte, where I just was, if you're into shopping, especially like vintage shopping, there's a lot of cool vintage shops over there. I can't really shop because I'm living out of a backpack and I have no room, but those are some recommendations for what you can do if you're here for a couple days. But I think I'm gonna head back to my place now and get packing, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about safety and how I have felt these past, you know, couple of weeks as a solo female traveler in Mexico City. So let's go chat about that. So obviously the elephant in the room, if you will, is how do I feel safety-wise here in Mexico City, especially as a solo female traveler? I get this question so much, and I get it. You know, Mexico does have a reputation, and Mexico City especially has a reputation. But before I even get into my experience, I just want to challenge you. If you've never been here, if you've never been even to Mexico at all as a country, don't just take what you're seeing on the news as a perfect representation of what it's like here, because as we all know, the media loves to blow things out of proportion. There's a little bit of fear-mongering happening these days on the news, and I just do not appreciate the way that Mexico is represented. You know, a lot of the stories that you see blowing up on social media or on the news, they are anomalies, and they are also more than likely happening in level 4 do not travel zones, regions that are very dangerous for foreigners to travel to. So I actually did do a video a couple weeks ago. It's on my channel. It's all about how to ensure your safety as a solo traveler, just as a traveler in general. So I really break down how I research my trips beforehand, how I choose where to go, and then once I'm there, how I make sure that I stay safe. So please do not go in the comments of this video saying that Mexico is so dangerous if you've never been here. I have no patience for that, truly. So moving on to my experience here in Mexico City, I am being completely honest when I say that I feel as safe here as I do in any major US city. This is how I felt all throughout Mexico. And in Mexico City specifically, you know, like any city, you just have to be aware of what neighborhoods you're going to be staying in and exploring, and you know, not putting yourself in unsafe situations. So all of the neighborhoods that I've been to have a good reputation, and you know, I take the proper precautions when I'm there. I am extremely aware of my surroundings, especially when I'm by myself, and especially when I have my camera. That is, you know, kind of a case-by-case basis for me personally. I do YouTube as my full-time job, so it has been a bit difficult for me to bring my camera all over the city, especially in really touristy and crowded areas like Centro. I do have to be really mindful of, you know, not flashing my camera around a ton, and same with my iPhone and stuff like that. So that has been a challenge for sure, and it's something that I've honestly been kind of struggling with since being here. You know, making these videos here for YouTube, you know, once they're edited and put together, they look, you know, like they were so effortless, but they were definitely not. They take me quite a while to make because I'm kind of thinking about, okay, am I in an okay situation to take my camera out right now? I already stand out. I look like a foreigner. And if I'm flashing around like a fancy camera, then I'm kind of putting myself out there in a way that I don't really want to. So that's kind of something that for me personally, I have struggled with here. But in terms of just like walking around the city and exploring, I have not felt unsafe or in a dangerous situation one time. And that's not to say that nothing could happen. Of course it could. We're in a big city. There are definitely millions of people here in Mexico City. Anything can happen, but anything can happen anywhere. Truly. So, you know, I've been exploring in neighborhoods that I know have a good reputation. You know, I'm staying in La Condesa, which is a very safe area. Roma Norte is super safe, as well as Coyoacán, where I was last night. That's one of the safest neighborhoods in Mexico City. Polanco as well is also very safe. Juarez and Centro, you know, there's just a lot of people there. So, you know, like in any city, any European city like Paris or London or Barcelona, you just have to be mindful of, okay, let's make sure no one's pickpocketing me, let's make sure I'm not making myself an easy target, all of those types of things that I discuss in my safety video. But truly, I have not felt unsafe one time. So that's just my personal experience, and I don't really have much else to say about that. Just be mindful about where you're staying and where you are exploring. I also haven't done much like nighttime exploring. I'm not a big drinker, so that's also a big way that people get into unsafe situations, is when they're out late at night drinking and then maybe they walk home alone. That's when a lot of, you know, people get mugged. That's a lot of times when that happens. So again, just be smart like you would be in any major city, but let's just please not give Mexico and Mexico City a bad rep just because of what you see on the news, because I'm over that. And pretty much everyone that has traveled to Mexico or Mexico City have the same opinion as me. It's very frustrating when people who have, you know, very little experience here just decide that they are all knowing. So let's just be a little bit more, what's the word? Just have a little more perspective and try to be curious instead of judgmental right off the bat. But yeah, that is truly my experience with the safety here in Mexico City. I think, yeah, just the only real issue I've had is just feeling comfortable to pull out my camera and film in a crowded area or a place where I feel like holding a fancy camera is, you know, gonna draw a lot of attention. I do not like people looking at me, especially when I'm by myself. So that has been a struggle. But if I didn't have the camera and I was just out doing my thing, I would feel, I mean, I do feel great. So that all to say, I freaking love this city. I totally recommend coming here. And yeah, let's go eat some tacos. I think it is going to rain. Do I have an umbrella? No. Do I have a raincoat? No. I need to get these things. We're here kind of a little bit in rainy season. I think it's kind of on the tail end, but yeah, it's supposed to rain tonight, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, I think I see my group. We are going to 3 different taquerias. Oh, I'm in the middle of the street in Roma Norte. So we're meeting over here right now. I booked this taco street food tour on Guru Walk. There are tons of free city tours on this platform, including the walking tour I did yesterday through Coyoacán. But this was such a fun way to meet other travelers and find the best street food in the city. This specific spot isn't on Google Maps, but it's right next to Tacos El Gato Volador. So we're at El Morado. This place is open 24/7. So when people come back from the club, you can come here, get a taco, or the next day when they're hungover. The only vegetarian option here is a taco with huitlacoche, which is a very unappetizing looking mushroom, otherwise known as a Mexican truffle. So I decided to give it a try.
Uno de huitlacoche con queso, por favor.
Gracias. See how this goes. Good. The cheese is definitely a must. Yeah, it's mushroom vibes. I think it's, yeah, mushroom, so. Our next stop is Los Tacos de Homero, which has a cozy home-cooked feel to it with beautiful clay plates and mugs. They're known for their cochinitas, aka baby pig, which I definitely will not be eating, so I got some hibiscus water and the panucho, which is a refried tortilla stuffed with refried black beans, but I didn't realize they top it with chicken, so of course I had to ruin it because I don't eat chicken. Vegetarian props. Hey, I'm sure it's great. Delicious. Wait, I didn't put lime on it. It's a little dry. It is really good though. It's much better with the lime. This one's alright. It wasn't made for a vegetarian, so I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. Our last stop was a taco stand with only meat options, but right across the street is Por Siempre Vegana for us vegetarians, and this is also one of my go-to spots to eat already in Mexico City, so I was super excited. They do a really great job of vegifying traditional tacos, so you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. Oh, hey there.
I'm not in it, am I?
It is 6:57 p.m.
It feels like 9:30.
The night before this video is going live. I'm currently in Oaxaca City. I've been here for almost 2 weeks, and this is the end of the Mexico City vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, also, this is my Kiwi friend who said the delicious comment about my food, and we've been laughing about it for like 20 minutes.
Delicious.
Oh, the parade's here.
There's so much going on. She's really doing the most to get this video out, so this is the outro.
Vamos! Vamos! There's a parade? Okay, we're vamosing. Come over here! We're going to the parade! It's Dia de Muertos week, and there's a parade like 5 times a day, so make sure you're subscribed because it's gonna be some crazy videos coming up. Let's see what this parade's all about. Oh my god!